Welcome to another Roselle Citizen Forum. I'm here tonight with Rahmi Muhammad, myself, Mark Milton, and our guest, Benjamin Muhammad, running for third ward councilperson.
That's correct.
Before we begin, we like to get out Roselle business, just let everybody know some events that are going on. I know tonight we're going to have the Haitian Day, which is today, May 18th. And that's going on at Borough Hall, again, May 18th, and that's being sponsored by Yves Orberg. We also have the Step Into Spring Dance Party, which is May 21st, a Let's Stop the Youth Violence, which is it's supposed to teach about gang violence, and that's on the May 21st also. There's also a First Ward debate between First Ward candidates, Reverend Moore and Yves Orberg. That's on the May 26th, and that's being held at the Methodist Church on Sheridan Avenue between 2nd and 3rd. And then, of course, the Roselle Memorial Day Parade, which is the 30th. And all of these, you can get the specifics at theRoselleCitizen.com. Click on Roselle Events, and you'll have all the specifics there. And if you, Rock, do you have anything that and Mr. Muhammad, do you have anything that you want to, event-wise, anything going on that you want to let everyone know?
As of this month in May, no, because I will have already had my May 14th Third Ward candidacy kickoff party for everybody. But the main thing is June 7th when it's time to vote.
Okay, all right. Okay, so it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Glad that you accepted our invitation. We just want to get to know, and our viewers want to get to know who you are, why you're running.
Okay.
Until you announced your candidacy, I didn't know who you were. So if you could just take a moment, let us know who Mr. Muhammad is, why you're running, what your platform is.
Excellent questions. Well, my name is Mr. Benjamin Harley Muhammad, and I'm running for the Third Ward candidacy position here in Roselle Borough. And the main reason why I'm running is because, like most people in this town, I am tired, dead tired, and frustrated with how our government's being ran, where the people are not inclusive, where we are talking but nobody's listening, where our taxes are going up, and when we look at the end, there's nothing to account for it, or nothing much. We need to change those dynamics. And that's why I went up to the council meeting to ask those things. When it couldn't be done, I decided I have to take matters into my own hand, and here I am.
So as you can see, this is Mr. Benjamin Harley Muhammad. I got a bunch of phone calls. Muhammad running for, is you running for office in Roselle? No, that's not me. As y'all can see, we are two different looking people. We far in between. Just to be clear, that's not me. But here, my question to you is this.
Yes, sir.
As Mark said, I didn't know you until you actually filled out the application. And if I probably did met you one or two times, but the issue here is I haven't really seen you around town. And to be fair with you, I haven't seen the other guy neither. I don't even know his name, by the way. You see that, sir? All I know is that somebody chose a guy to be on the ticket with him. So, so to be fair with you, to me, it's two folks who, to me, be honest with you, the heads of the ticket decided that he wanted to run with you, and the other head of the ticket decided that he was going to run with the individual that's running against you in the Third Ward. So I just want to know, based on that, why would Roselle voters vote for you?
Good question. Well, the main thing, first and foremost, to answer both your questions, I am somebody from the community, have been a long-time community activist in terms of, a lot of people have seen me at the school board of education meetings, voicing my opinions in terms of things I dislike and giving solutions to things I dislike. Same with the council meeting. I've been there attending the meetings as well, giving problems and giving solutions. But more so, you will see me at a lot of the Roselle Pop Warner games, because I have two twin boys that have played the Pop Warner game, started their career there and went all the way up through high school now. I also have a son who was Roselle's prior football and track star to help bring national notoriety to Roselle back in 2007, Rodell Savage. And also, just been on numerous things. I helped to start the Roselle Youth Track Club. I helped to start the Roselle Youth Chess Club that we had going at the library. Also, I was a part of the Roselle Zoning Board Commissioner as I was trying to keep and help the quality of life for the Roselle residents. Those are just some of the things that I've done, not to mention things that I've done personally for residents around town.
Are you ready for this? What I mean by that is, as you go up to the council meetings, you see what goes on. You're coming in pretty much as an underdog, I would say, with them having the majority on the council. But are you ready to be able to work with this council and try to make things better, and try to get some actual things done? I mean, you got to have a tough skin. So, I mean, it's one thing just saying you're running, but it's another thing actually doing it and actually taking that position and making a change. So are you ready for that?
Good question. I'm more than ready. And just to give you a little more background about myself, a lot of people know I'm Benjamin Harley Muhammad. I am in the Nation of Islam. There is no questions about that. That alone will let you know that I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of business. And there is no one that's going to intimidate me, no one that's going to make me do something I don't want to do. And right now, my number one priority is the residents of Roselle, 3rd Ward in particular, because that's my ward, but also the residents of Roselle to be looked out for. So I'm ready to go in for this battle for the long haul. But hopefully, we'll have a favorable council. If not, then what you have been seeing, to a certain extent, you're going to see me speaking up, not getting into arguments, not getting into little tits and tats,
Right, but
just dealing with the issues.
But how do you propose in order to work with the majority? I mean, there's one thing taking a stance, but you could take a stance all day long. I mean, we see it all the time. But if you don't have the majority on your side, then you're pretty much just a word in the wind. So my question to you is, how do you propose to work with the majority? How are you going to sit there and, if you're coming in and you need to get your agenda or your proposals passed, how do you propose doing that?
Well, for one, everyone on the council I do have a favorable rapport with. In the past, from coming up and how I come up, I am very respectful. Very forceful, but respectful. And it's always been reciprocated that way. So I can talk to the council members. And when I put good, logical resolutions to the table that I like them to pass, it's going to be up to the council to pass it. I'm going to give all the arguments I can for it. But at the end of the day, it will be up to that individual to make the best decision for the residents of Roselle. And if I'm in a position where that happens and it doesn't fall the way I like, I have to keep fighting. I have to keep going, but at the same time, keep the people informed of what's going on.
So you made a statement about what you see. What do you see going on with the council?
Good question. Right now, what I'm looking at, I see a lot of people like myself coming up to the mic, making proposals of different things, such as, for instance, we all know about the taxes situation. But, for instance, just a simple question. We have about 17, 18 lawyers. I can't even keep count anymore. I like to know what they're doing. I like to know why we have them. What is the purpose of how they're helping the residents of Roselle? That is a question that's going unanswered. I'm seeing the financial matter, the financial team just being back and forth in terms of who's there in the seat. Since the CFO, Mr. Mapp, has been removed, I have not seen any consistency. I have not seen anything that's going to reflect normalcy in how our budget is going. And I want to see that. I want to see Roselle standing on a firm financial ground with the tens of millions of dollars that we got coming in there.
All right, and let's talk about 3rd Ward, which you're running for. What do you see, what state is the 3rd Ward in? What do you see needs to be done? I would say, at least 3 things that you would say, if you can't think of 3 things, but the most issues that the 3rd Ward is up against now.
3rd Ward is up against similar issues as the other wards. Number one is the taxes is high. That's the number one complaint I get when I'm going door to door. My taxes is high and I have nothing to show for it. From things as simple as the garbage pickup, how that's being handled, it's very unacceptable. But not only just the garbage, not only just the taxes, but also I'm also hearing about flood issues. In the 3rd Ward, there's some residents that are still dealing with flood issues. So I want to address that. Now, if you ask me for a third thing, one of my pet peeves is to bring back the Shade Tree Commission volunteering group. Why? Because I enjoy not having tens of thousands of our dollars in taxes going towards paying people to do what a group of volunteers was doing out the love of their community.
So the shade tree right now is being paid?
Yes, it was dissolved, and then
I know it was dissolved.
it was
Is it
dissolved,
actually
and
being
then
paid?
it was the duties were given to the engineer, and then I believe
Correct.
they hired two part-time people to be on that.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
and then one of them was Celeste. I think Satarski was actually on the Shade Tree Commission, and then that was a Shade Tree Dance Roll Commission. You know, so it was, there was a turn of, I think they voted her out, something, and Sylvia became, so all of a sudden it was dissolved. And then it was given to the engineer to take over the duties. And that was one of the things too that I was kind of perturbed about, because you're taking the volunteer position. No matter if it was dysfunctional, you don't get rid of the commission, you get rid of the people. You change people, you find out what's wrong, you don't get rid of it and then have something that we're paying for. So, yeah, I mean, true, I would like to see that back.
So do you think that the current councilwoman, who's not running for re-election, and she's not running because of the federal...
She's got some legal issues.
No, it's not legal issues. I don't want to think. That's not why she's not running. She's running because of the federal law, because of the position that she works in. She can't run in the seat. She can't run in the seat no more. So it's not legal issues. It's a law that states that because of the job she has, she can't run for a Democrat or in a Republican or Democratic primary. She can't be an elected official. So that's why she's running. That's why she's not running. But what do you think that is not being done in the ward, since she's been councilwoman?
One thing in particular that I have to say that I will be doing as a councilman for the Third Ward is having monthly community meetings first and foremost, to keep the community informed of what's really going on. Also, what's about to go down, because if we can get our agendas ahead of time, I can let the residents know what's coming up. And any agendas that they want me to have addressed or issues, I can have that done as well in our monthly community meetings.
So what do you know about your opponent?
Yeah, well,
I don't know nothing about him.
I had the opportunity
Maybe you know
to meet
more
him
than
once.
Randy Sandifer.
That's why.
That's his name, Randy Sanders.
Yes.
Who is he? You know? I mean, because he's a third ward resident, so
I
your
don't-
neighbors.
And just to let you know, I did invite him, to be.
Well, I heard he's scared to come on.
Well, that's not, he has prior engagements.
Yeah, right, he's scared
What he
to come
told
on.
me is
All
prior
right.
engagement. so-
I'm scared to come on.
So
we
but
want to
it's-
commend you for at least having, the tenacity to want to come up here and
Thank you,
take
gentlemen.
our question.
Yes, sir. Well, the bottom line, I don't know much about him, other than when I met him at the April
Council meeting, yeah, I've seen him again, we've talked.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he's been at the council meeting?
Yeah, you're a tall
I
gentleman,
must have
tall, I
missed
mean,
him.
he's a tall gentleman, I mean, he's got a bald head, your complexion.
Yeah, I must have missed him.
Yeah, so, listen, I mean, he's been a nice guy to me, of course, and again, I did invite him on, so hopefully he'll
not
be sitting
coming
in that chair. So, let me ask you, what do you, I know you want to be Third Ward, I know you said you want to have your monthly council meetings.
Yes, sir.
And try to, how are you now going to try to pull your ward together? I mean, you've been in your ward how long now? In your
My
ward?
ward itself, I've been there since 2008.
Okay, which is not that long. I mean, so how are you now going out and getting those people to understand what your agendas are?
Very good question. Well, first of all, let me say I was in Roselle prior to that. I was leasing a home with option to buy, but it didn't work out.
Okay.
And so I ended up purchasing my first home that I was blessed to do in 2008, right before the market dropped, of course.
I know, me too. I didn't mind too.
We
Unfortunately.
right there with you.
Timing was impeccable, right? But for the short time that I've been there, I've met people, I already knew people from Roselle, different wards, some in the third. But at this point in time, to answer your question, the things that need to get done in Roselle, I have some answers. I don't have them all. I've already gone door to door, which I'm doing today, to let people know there's a new face coming in to help them out at that ward meet, at our council meetings. I want to represent them. I want them to come to the council meetings, the community meetings I'm going to be having every month. That's what I'm doing. And I want them to address their issues with me. Let me do my best to work on them. Now, I already told them I'm not perfect. I may make a mistake, but I will be in their best interest fighting for them.
Sounds responsive and so forth.
So far, so good, very favorable. I've actually had, out of the hundreds of doors I knocked, it's not close to 1,000 by now, I had one bona fide no, because they were just frustrated with Roselle and they didn't think it was going to change, no matter.
Well,
no
you
matter
know,
what,
that's
which
a
is
consensus
understandable.
that you get, yeah.
I mean, dealing with the dynamics of the politics for what I know of in Roselle is
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah.
People are frustrated. And that frustration, I'm expecting it.
Yeah.
Because I'm frustrated. But see, I'm ready to do something about it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to be a solution to a lot of these people's problems.
Do you believe that, I mean, we have, in my thoughts, you have your council and you have the Board of Education. Sometimes I think those are two separate entities. They do what they're doing and council does what they're doing.
Okay.
Do you feel that there should be some type of cohesion between the two? I mean, are you going to be trying to, because you do have, or you had children raised up in the public school
Yeah,
system.
still do.
Do you feel that you should be reaching out to the Board of Education to at least assist in bringing their issues to the community? Or do you think that should be left alone to them?
To be honest with you, in this 2.5 to 2.7 square mile town of Roselle, we should definitely have a cohesion between the Board of Education and the council. Now, mayor and council. But the bottom line is right now, it's open. It could happen. It should be happening. I don't care what your politics are. At the end of the day, all our babies are hurting. So we need to do what we can to unite to say, let's get something done. So do I have a problem with that? No. I welcome that opportunity.
So you're running with the mayor, right?
Yes, I am, sir.
So how I know you're not gonna vote the way the mayor tell you to vote?
That's a good point. Well, because first of all, when I address the council, I address mayor and council all the same. And when I talk to them, it's realistic. I'm not a mayor's boy, never been a yes boy. The mayor and I have seen each other periodically, but we're not hangout partners. We're not, we don't talk that often like that to say I'm his boy in terms of whatever he says goes without me checking and doing some due diligence.
Right.
And keep in mind also, truth be told, I knew Holly before I knew the mayor. From a long time ago when I lived in Roselle, in 3rd Ward, Hillcrest Terrace.
Okay.
So my history goes back deeper with him. So in truth, quote unquote, I should be more loyal to him.
All right.
But the truth of the matter is, I'm more loyal to the truth. I'm more loyal to God. That's how I try to base myself.
Right.
So you coming along those lines, we can talk.
So you think that Holly's more, Garrett's more truth to God?
Well, not so much truth to God, I would say. Well, I should say truth to God from the perspective I see him as more of a man that's doing more for the community, which to me is a good thing. So if it's good, it got to be of God.
And Holly's not doing anything for the community?
Holly is doing things for individuals in the community. There's a difference. I can teach a man how to fish. He's good for the day. But if I don't teach him how to fish, he won't be eating tomorrow unless I give him more fish. Holly is the man that's good for the people in terms of giving them fish for the day. I respect that. I don't have anything wrong. I have no problems with that.
So, I mean, pretty much if Holly becomes mayor,
Yeah.
you feel you still have a good rapport in order to,
Very good. Very good.
across the board.
Yeah. Right now, my thing is this. I want to see the mayor, of course, get reelected. I would like to see Reverend Moore make it to the 1st Ward and myself make it to the 3rd Ward. Why do I say that? I'm going back and looking at the dynamics of the mayor and council. With the Reverend Moore and myself sitting on the board, on the council, and looking at the other council members, I can see there's a balance now. In terms of, I know there's definitely 3 people that vote the same no matter what it seems. So if those 3 are going to keep doing that, at least the other 3 of us have the opportunity to say whether or not we want to join them in that vote.
Well, actually, you would have the majority of all y'all won because you would have 4 votes against their 3 because the mayor is the society.
And that's what my point was. That's what I was going to lead to, because now the mayor is the tiebreaker. But if the mayor is Garrett, yes.
Right.
If the mayor is Jamel, then we have to just,
If they're gonna
Right.
vote on, but if,
Right.
you know, the idea is to vote for what's best. Not to say they're always going to have that majority vote, So I mean, what I'm saying is I hope that if you all make it to the council, is that now you're not high-fiving all of each other and saying, okay, now what we vote is the way we're gonna vote. I
Right,
hope
right.
that you're gonna, whoever did, whether it's Reverend Moore or any of them are going to say, this is what's best
But isn't that
for the community.
really what's gonna happen?
Well, listen, this is
well,
what I told
if
you.
you're asking me, the
Yeah,
answer
you
is
know.
no. What's going to happen is the best interest of Roselle is at heart. This is not
So
something
you're
that,
not-
let me say, brother, let me say this, I'm straight up. I'm not a politician in terms of one that's going to say one thing and do another.
Let him
But the thing is this, in terms of when I come to the council meetings,
Right.
and I hear Sylvia Turner speak,
Right.
and I hear the due diligence behind what she's saying.
Right.
All right, when she speaks, I'm likely to listen to her because I know she's not just coming off the cuff,
Right.
and I don't see anybody
Well,
behind
sometimes she
her.
come off the cuff, but a lot of times she's okay.
Yeah, I have no
And that's my
problem.
girl.
Yeah.
Just so we know, that's my girl. But sometimes, I'm sorry, she does come off the cuff. But
But
for the most part, I think that she's right on point. That,
Exactly.
she asks a lot of questions that should be asked.
Exactly. And now, in terms of me, myself, I'll be doing my own due diligence. I'm going to be listening to both sides. I mean, I don't have a problem complimenting people for doing right. I mean, truth be told, I have done that with you. And I don't know if you remember, at one council meeting, I gave you your respect for coming up with due diligence at a council meeting. That you're not on the council, but you was on the other side giving them information that they should have already had.
But they don't listen to me.
But I'm just saying, I give props to
You know they
truth.
just like
They're
me.
like-
All of them, by the way. No,
Really?
So we clear
You gotta
this.
hate
The good thing
somebody.
about me is that at least they all can agree that I'm a problem. You know what I'm saying? I am the equalizer for the council. They
There you
all
go.
agree that's a
You gotta
problem.
hate somebody. You gotta hate somebody. Listen, it's good. I hope things, go your way. And
sir.
what we like to do, we like to give you at least 2 minutes to at least address your constituents, the viewers, and everything else. To get your word out there. So if you don't mind,
Basically, I can sum this up very quickly. And I appreciate the opportunity, gentlemen, for having me come on, because I'm just another resident of Roselle who's getting an opportunity to speak before the people. And I really appreciate y'all for giving me the opportunity. And not for slandering my words. But the truth be told, family, I'm here because I'm here for the... I've met good people, young and old, and a lot of them seniors, that are just good people, and I've met good people on both sides of the camp. And there's no reason why Roselle cannot be a united community. I'm not trying to pick sides. I'm trying to unite the sides. That's always been my thing. So I'm going to continue doing that. I'm going to continue working with both sides to get them to see things the way we should be seeing it, which is the best interest of what's the best interest for Roselle residents. And with that, I need your vote June 7th, not to just vote for your brother Benjamin Muhammad, but also to vote for Reverend Moore for those that are in the First Ward, and to vote for the mayor, Mayor Garrett Smith, your mayor. Re-elect that man. He's trying to do his best. When he has a council that is in favor of what he's trying to do, you will see more out of him, instead of seeing more fight come between him. Lastly, if I could just say real quickly, another thing why I respected the mayor, in 2007, I remember going to a council meeting when the mayor, from my understanding, didn't go to the workshops. He went straight to the people, which I love, and brought up the idea of saying, let's come with this new state-of-the-art football field for our high schooler babies, our Pop Warner team. There was going to be, I think, a soccer field, a track, and then taking the tax dollars that we're paying to Elizabeth, bring them back to Roselle, and put a school where this new this old Chet John building is. But bring our special needs and I believe pre-K kid children back to Roselle. I respected that. I said, okay, here's a man that's doing something beyond the scope, beyond the box. He was working with the Board of Ed to make that happen. And when I looked back and said, why didn't it happen the way it was supposed to? And the only thing I can see is because of politics. You hurt the residents of Roselle, senior, into youth and in between. You hurt them. For what? Because of politics? When that happens, now there has to be a change. Ergo, I'm here.
So you know you're gonna win because you got my last name, so.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the same about you,
I just
man.
want you to know that, when you win, I want full credit for your victory, because you know the residents love me, right?
Oh, yeah, that's out here.
So, you win, I want you to call me up and say, Muhammad, I appreciate, everything you've done for the borough. That's for my NJ.com form. A little arrogance for y'all, since y'all love it so much.
Well, Benjamin, we're glad that you came, glad you be able to get your word out there.
Yes, sir.
Also, one other thing too, is that we're about the bike. Bike ride, we gotta let everybody know about that. We're having we're putting together a fun type of fitness bike ride, the Roselle Citizen.
Okay.
We all, the time has gotten warmer, and we're trying to promote family,
Okay.
Also
And
fitness, and fitness.
with the whole Michelle Obama go.
There you go.
So we
There you
both,
go.
we rocking our comes, we know we both gotta lose some weight,
Yeah,
get
I know I
back into
gotta
shape.
lose.
So
Okay.
what we're asking, what we're trying to do is put together something on a Saturday morning where everybody can meet up somewhere, and we can actually get a destination, Warren Park, or maybe something around Roselle, get to see the sights, because I'm telling you, it's a beautiful place. I mean,
Yeah.
when you ride a bike,
Yeah.
you almost look at Roselle in a different light.
light, you do.
So we're
Okay.
getting to that, so we're hoping that our viewers and anybody from Roselle can get in contact with us. Just send an email, info@therosellcitizen.com. I'm gonna put it up on the website. More people, the better. It's just a fun type of get together,
Yeah, we'll
we'll
order
ride for a little
t-shirts.
bit.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
We'll order
exactly.
t-shirt.
Okay.
So, and we can get that together, it'd be great. So, look for it on the website. And again, Mr. Muhammad, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate
All
it,
right.
gentlemen.